Can men and women be friends? I think the answer is quite clearly, it depends. That was the entire premise of what this video is going to be. But after thinking about it and, like it's been 2 weeks, right? Almost 3 since I did a video. I was thinking about this subject and then I got sick and then my voice was like pre-hormonal treatment, because I'm a tranny. So then I put it up. Anyway, I don't want to talk only about can men and women just be friends. I want to talk about jealousy and why some people, men and women, think that their partner shouldn't be allowed to be friends with the other sex. No, the same sex. No, the other sex. Whew. Okay. Anyway, intro. Hello everyone, my name is Jennifer Moleski. This is my YouTube channel. If this is your first time here, holy moly, welcome. If this is your second, third, 43rd time here, holy moly, thank you so much for returning and seeing if you think that I am someone that you can hang out with like this. Thank you very much. So I want to talk about friendships and I'll try to make it snappy. Okay, I'm personally a big proponent of community, as many of you know. If this is your 43rd video, then you know I'm pretty community driven. I'm also an advocate of freedom of association. So the individual freedom that you have and that I have to include or disinclude individuals into our community. But first, let's talk about community at its extreme ends. The individuals that create your community on those extreme ends are not chosen by you. So, for example, your neighbors, the people that patronize the restaurant that you like to go to, the people that are at your town hall meeting, the people at your church. You're not choosing them, really. And your blood family, the people that the family you're born into, you're not choosing, and the people born of your body. You can mold them, but you can't choose them. Who can you choose? That would be outside of those outskirts, would be the inner, your friends. So in my recent deathbed meditation video I mentioned the actual term for deathbed meditation, I guess, would be Morenasati. And without overly talking about Buddhism, because I just don't know enough about it to put it into my wheelhouse of understanding and then incorporate it, I'm going to read a quote, okay? So according to Edward Kanzi, the noted historian of Buddhism, if we can believe Buddhaghosa, just that's how you say it, okay, for this, the author of the ancient classic, two only among the 40 meditational practices are always and under all circumstances beneficial: the development of friendliness and the recollection of death. So we already did the recollection of death, right, a couple weeks ago. So now let's talk about friendliness. It's an art. Some people really suck at it. Some people in my comment section of my videos brag about how rude they are. Wow, that's so cool. You're so cool. So if instead of being a dick bag, we choose to be friendly, we have friendliness, we may end up with friendship. Is that so bad? So I've been thinking lately about friendliness cut off before a friendship could happen as like abortion. So it's clearly not obviously the same, but if you end something before it can fully develop, you could be ending something before it could fully develop. So why would we abort friendship? Unless our community is already stacked up with amazing people and we just don't have room anymore. I absolutely understand that, but that's not, in contemporary times, that's not a problem that most people are facing. Most people are facing they don't have enough friends. They don't have enough connections. They're not good at choosing the right people to incorporate into their community. So why are so many people choosing to abort friendship? I don't get it. But now, okay, we're not yet to our partners being with friends. We're just here with friendliness. Bear with me if you choose to. And I also like friendliness and friendship because it creates choices. Okay? So the more friendly you are, the more people will light up when they see you, and then choices come your way. Options come your way. People that have jobs to give may think of a friendly person over an asshole. Now I'm removing competency, okay? But let's include competency. If you have two competent people and one is easier to get along with, the job, the opportunity might go to them. So when I think of friendliness, I think of choices in that capacity. And I guess I'll stop right here just to remind everyone that I'll be doing my commenting on comments video tomorrow. So if you have well-articulated comments, please put them in the comments section and I will respond to them tomorrow. Okay, getting back to it. So, okay, where was I? Oh yeah, friendliness creates choices. So think about this. Smart, caring parents typically raise their... I'm spitting a lot there. Can you see it? Smart, caring parents typically raise their children to be liked, respected, valued by the parents, and then later on as they grow up into an adult by the community at large. Because we know as adults that the world is difficult, and the more choices you have, the more choices you can have as a person, the easier your life will be. And freedom to choose is easier when you actually have choices. So when you cultivate friendliness, you have more choices. And if you choose correctly, you end up with surrounding yourself with amazing people. So have you heard this? There's a saying, it's like the 5 people you spend the most time with is you. You are the 5 people that you spend the most time with. So choose correctly. Okay, so the thing about being a friend or befriending a person is it requires intimacy. So sharing who you are, learning who they are, respecting them as an individual if they're worthy of respect, and if they're douchebags or dishonorable, you get the fuck out. You support their decisions and you provide counsel for them when they ask for it. So that's intimate, right? There's intimacy there. And I think because of the inevitable intimacy required for building and sustaining a friendship, the question for many, maybe even you, becomes, can men and women just be friends? Just. What intimacy can create is a hard lean on sexuality or hedonism, biology. So enter genitalia. When you leave the house, when you leave the house, you're not unzipping flies and undoing bras to see if the encounter is worth the effort, unless your goal is sex. If it's not sex, then you wouldn't be doing that. So I came up with a saying, and maybe it's my saying, if you've heard this before. Oh my God. Okay. Whatever you intend to find is typically what you tend to find. So if you're leaving the house just looking for hookups, you're probably going to find that. If you're looking for companionship and like bright minds, you'll probably find that. So the more and more conversations I have with people, the more I learn that loneliness is a festering problem. I've said that before. I've been lonely. It fucking sucks. I hate it. There's been large swatches of my life where I have struggled to find friendships, but I've also not tried to find friends. At any rate, it doesn't matter. I know what loneliness feels like. I also know what a community of friends feels like. There's a huge juxtaposition to that. So some people who are lonely hide that lack, that sadness behind hate or bitterness or oversimplification of why they're lonely, or laziness, like I was. I was lazy. I didn't go try to find friends. And some people convince themselves that what they've gained by being lonely is worthwhile. Money, toys, a house, land, advancement of a career. I think of the women who forsake friendships, relationships, family, partnership for the advancement of their career, only to one day realize that they're sad for it, or they bury themselves in their work to compensate for that. But for some men and women, that actually is a better outcome, that feels better to them. But most people, I think, do better with well-meaning friends. I'm exhausted. How are you? Okay, so could you, viewer, could you benefit from being friends only with someone of the opposite sex? And are you, viewer, capable of not trying to have sex with someone of the opposite sex? And are you, viewer, capable of not having sex with someone who wants to have sex with you? Only you know if you're capable of just being friends. Finally, let's move on. Part 2. Same subject, different angle. Okay, so your partner being friends with the opposite sex. Woo-hoo-hoo! Jealousy. I know this is a big point of contention for the population at large. If you don't want your partner to have friends of the opposite sex, why not? I have some ideas. So, like I said, after considering it, I came up with a list of reasons why one would not be okay with such a thing. Jealousy, lack of trust, lack of control, fear of comparison, don't like the friend, the choices of the friends. You feel disrespected, you feel unimportant, you worry, it pisses you off, equals anger, rage, or you've allowed your partner to have friends in the past and it didn't work out, they cheated. So would your partner spending time with a member of the opposite sex make you feel any of those things? And I think if everyone could be honest with themselves, they would say this. Mirror, mirror on the wall, would I feel any of those things? Perhaps even all. How uncomfortable would I be with my partner having friends of the opposite sex? What level of any of those would I experience? Wait, what level of emotion would I feel about any of those things that I just listed? Would be a question that I would ask for myself. So I think many people think that their partner having a friend of the opposite sex could only lead to trouble or drama. And I think that's true if they're low quality people or if they choose low quality friends. I know a lot of you don't like that I put such a hard emphasis on individuals. There's no other way. There's no other way. It's easier to demonize a gender or a color, but we have to look at the individuals. Okay, no, fuck it. You don't have to. I have to. My personality type forces me to not have loopholes. I have to look at individuals. Okay, so I just said that there are some people that don't want their partner to be friends with the opposite sex because they're worried that it will create drama or discontent or problem in the relationship. But I want to say I've found myself on few occasions in my life within a group of women who I'm really embarrassed to be around. Like, they're not my people. For whatever reason, some of them have been loud, attention-seeking, complaining. It's just like, energy is something different, isn't it? I can't really quite explain energy right now, but I just feel icky around some people. If I were to choose to stay friends with women like that, at some point, I would have to participate and emulate that type of personality in order to be included in the friend group. So that's why I said before, you should be choosing correctly. Don't let someone choose you. Don't ever get to a point, it's called, my ex used to call it desperate cologne. Like, don't ever put on desperate cologne because then you will be with bad people. So I think about, they weren't a group of men, they were a group of women. It wouldn't have been good for me or my relationship. Some women complain about their partners, and that would be bad for me in a relationship to befriend women like that. So if I were to let those women in, they could cause me to think poorly of my partner, even if my partner is awesome. So it's all about the 5 people that you spend the most time with. If you spend too much time with Sex in the City, your brain's going to be tainted. Liberal arts, dumb mind. Bible study, Buddhist meditations, Home Depot classes. They all help or hinder. I'm going to tell you guys an anecdotal story, and some of you are going to jump on this. Don't give a shit. Don't give a shit. Okay, so a couple years ago, I dated a guy for just a little bit of time, but right away we hit it off and I liked him very much. I have a lot of male friends and none of them liked him. They're like, I just don't fucking really like that guy for you. And then I had 2 male friends that spent time with him, and one in particular pulled me aside. He's like, I don't think this guy's serious. I think that if you're looking for something serious, which everyone always knows I'm a more serious-minded person, I don't think you should be with this guy. So that gave me an insight that I was blinded by because I liked this person. So I got to say to the guy I was dating, hey, my friends are observing that you're probably not serious-minded as I am. And he was like, oh, your friends are absolutely right. So we got to have a conversation and we decided to not see each other anymore because I wanted to pursue someone who was of a more serious mind. Now, oh yeah, it's like, oh, the guy friends want to fuck you. Okay, but it's the same group of men that later I started dating a guy who I was like, yeah, I think this person's really great. But all of them were like, Jennifer, this guy, this is your guy. To the point where one of my male friends, because I include people, one of my male friends called this guy and was like, hey, Jennifer Moleski is pretty awesome, but she's pretty weird. Can I take you out to lunch so we can talk about, I really want to see you two succeed. So I just want to kind of get to know you to make sure that I'm right about you. And they went out to lunch and now they're really good friends and that's that. But those are all these male friends were trying to help me. Okay, part 3-ish, kind of. Let's move on. After weeks of contemplation, my question is this. Is it fair for me to restrict my partner's access to human connection? Because at best, it creates negative feelings within myself, and at worst, my partner could cheat if given the opportunity. Now, this is just me. And that's typically how I speak for myself. But I've always thought if I'm with someone who is the type to cheat, then let it happen so I can escape. But for me, keeping them away from the opposite sex is not keeping me safe from a bad partner. It's only keeping them from potential temptation. And if that's the only thing keeping my partner from infidelity is access, then no. Yeah, I hate that. Cheat and be gone. The other reason that I personally choose to control the beast within me that is called jealousy is I honestly think I'm great. I'm a fun partner. I'm loving. I'm affectionate. I'm communicative. I have a fast wit. I like to laugh. I like to talk about big ideas. I like to get dressed up. I like to get dressed down. I like to go hiking. I'm weird. And when I find a partner that's for me, he's a good match for me. That shit takes time to find. So I guess I'm saying, just like I did in my Fat and Ugly video, you should be working every day in daily auditions to be the best choice for him. And them for you. So I've always said it doesn't matter if I'm in a room with 100 guys who want to bang me. It's about me, my integrity, who I am, not who they are. Can I be trusted? Not can they be trusted? So I'm all about self-awareness. You might not like what I'm about to say, but this is what made me actually drop this video because I'm like, yes, some Jennifer Moleski. So in my relationships, if I were to speak honestly and candidly to my partner, and I didn't want them to be friends with someone of the opposite sex, I would have to say to them, why not honestly? So tell me what you think, okay? Tell me if you felt any of this. Okay, number 1, I don't want anyone else to enrich your life because it makes me jealous. I hate feeling jealous. And rather than deal with it, because that would be really hard, I just don't want you to cause my emotions to get to a point that I can't control. Okay. Number 2, I don't trust you to stay faithful to me if given the opportunity to cheat. And at the end of the day, I don't think I'm very capable of choosing a partner who would remain faithful to me. And if I were capable, I don't think I would have chosen you. Number 3, I'm uncomfortable not being in control of you. If you want me to stay happy and feel secure, you're going to have to let me control who you communicate with. And when, and where, and why. Number 4, I'm insecure in myself and this relationship. I fear that if I'm compared to another woman, then I will lose you. I guess I'm saying this for women. Women, if you don't want your partner to be with somebody. Number 5, I don't like your friend. I think you're incapable of choosing quality people. Well, except for me. Number 6, I feel disrespected that I'm not enough. I should be the person you rely on for everything. The fact that after you met me, you still want to maintain friendship with your female friends is something that I can't understand. And if I can't understand it, I can't allow it. Number 7, my self-worth relies pretty heavily on you, and when you want to spend time with a female friend, it makes me feel unimportant. Numero 8, my mind runs wild with worry that you're up to no good. I love you, and if I lost you to another woman, it would tear me up. Number 9, just the fact that you want to meet your female friend for coffee makes me feel angry. It's almost verging on rage. And if you go out with her, I'm going to be livid. And at this point, even if you don't, I'm going to be mad for a while for your audacity to even mention it. And I suppose the final one would be, I have had male partners in the past that I trusted, and they were friends with members of the opposite sex, and they betrayed me and cheated on me. And I don't know if you're any different, and it scares the shit out of me. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. That's my video today. What do you think about it? But what do you think really about the end? I really like the honest thinking that you would have to say to a partner. I like it because it's clear to the partner and it's really clear to yourself. Like I do a lot of writing about myself just to make sure that I'm fair-minded and whatnot. And if I were to reach those conclusions, I would have to really look in the mirror about projecting, if I'm projecting, if I'm being fair, because a lot of people, they shouldn't be friends of the opposite sex because people cheat. But my thing is, again, filtration system. You guys are going to get sick of this. The filtration system. Choose wise people and be the best partner. So if your partner cheated, never could they go a day without knowing that they fucked up because they lost you. And then you are such a good person that you get over it, over your PTSD, your rage, your blame, your anger, and you choose a better partner because you know you're worth it. All right. Everyone, thank you again for tuning in. Merry Christmas. I don't know if I'm going to get this out before Christmas or after. Okay, everyone, be well. Be well.